Hello everyone, this is HDCollection here, back with some more StarCraft 2 action, and you know it to be true. It is going to be more IPL action. I don't know how he does it. He was down 50 supply, able to buy enough time on that third base, and able to move on to game number 4, is that right? Either way, Team Liquid currently up. Yeah, I believe it is 2-1. I'm really bad at keeping track just because I hop into the next game so quickly. Either way, so far carrying his team. Remember, it's going to be 2 best-of-9s if Team Liquid can win this first series, as they did come from the lower bracket. But I don't know if Taja's going to be able to do it. His opponent, Losira, down in the bottom right side. Keep in mind, his name is Aerosol backwards. That's a fun fact. And I do have, actually, I thought I had it brought up here. I'm just going to you know what, screw it. I'm just going to show it off really quickly. These are the results for Losira, GSL Code A, first place right there, and GSL Code S, second place, plus round of 8, round of 16, round of 32. You know, no big deal. Round of 48 up here. But either way, a GSL champion. You can see his other results here. I need to take this away before everyone yells at me. But regardless, one of the best players on Team IM, although IM is completely stacked. But as you can see right here, you know, he's kind of wanting to scout out with the drone. He needs to know exactly what is going on. I don't know if this version was forced cross spawns, but this Overlord is scouting in a path that may, I mean, it does scout the main base here, but at the same time, it's going to be a good angle to see if there is indeed an expansion up here, although the drone is going to be scouting that out right away. It is going to be hatchery first here, which is definitely a good choice. I mean, it's basically the standard. If you're playing as Zerg versus Terran, it's kind of the standard. Even a proxy double racks now just doesn't seem to work versus hatchery first openings as much. Zerg players have realized if I just keep making drones, I can actually hold off the bunkers, prevent those from going down, and be able to hold off once the Zerglings spawn, and especially with queens. So you don't see proxy racks as much. You don't see any Maca racks or anything like that, which is a strategy we saw utilized for a little bit. But either way, we have seen Tasia, though, rush like that a lot. Even though this drone is going to be spotting this barracks down here, might be able to delay the command center. Oh, he does! Although now that the Marine is out, that drone, his life is going to be short and sweet, as he did see the expansion go down. He's also spotted that there's no gas on the way. Even brings off the SCV. Does manage to get the extractor down, though, and that does mean the drone will be able to get some delayed scouting here. And remember, every time you cancel an extractor, it's so few resources that you've actually invested that the scouting is almost always going to be worth it here. We'll see if he actually decides to cancel this one or not. Or he could just let it finish there and try and delay the gas as much as he can. Although, letting it finish... Oh, does get the nice last-second cancel there. The building looked almost actually completely completed. Yes, that is what I said. That's like saying pin number, because I love redundancy. And now the expansion is up. He decides to go for such an early third. And you got to remember, Taja's strength is in late game versus every single race. He's so good versus late game. And you can see he's saying, well, you know, I spotted that expansion. I'm just going to go ahead and drop my own third command center here. So he's going to go straight to 3 command centers. And you guys know what that means. I could just put this on Taja cam for a little bit, and we could sit back with our arms crossed and just have a big banana grin on our faces, because you know what, this is going to be a long-term game. The chances of it ending in the next couple of minutes are rather slim. The reason being is because there's no units on the map. Take a look at the units tab. 4 Zerglings and 3 Marines. That is not going to be a lot of stuff just yet. However, I don't know if this is making anyone else nauseous. Let's go ahead and stop this from happening. But anyways, the fact of the matter is, cross spawns, they've taken 3 bases. This map is so easy to take 3 bases. It's difficult to do multi-pronged drops because you essentially cannot drop the natural just because of how it's tucked away in the corner. So you have to attack this base and this base, but the problem is that you can connect these bases with creep so easily that it's difficult to actually pull that off, because if you just split the army quite easily, then you can defend it. Well, I'm going to use the word easily again, but you can defend it easily is all I'm trying to say, because we're all about redundancy. Speaking of redundancy, this is a lot of command centers, and this is something I love at Taja. He plays Terran the way that I have to play Terran, because I'm so bad at macro. I'm like, oh, I have 400 minerals, let's throw down another command center. However, it's not that he is bad at macro, it's that he is the king of macro when it comes to Terran. I almost feel like I'm watching Flash, where he's going to have just a ridiculous amount of SCVs. Right now, he's only making 2 at a time, but guess what? He's just finishing up this orbital. Now it's 3 at a time. Could even make 4 at a time there for a moment. Securing the third base can be tough, as Losira could be going for a timing attack here, but for now we are just seeing a Spine Crawler. Not quite sure what he's going to be doing the rest of his larva here, as he is going to be waiting for those Overlords to pop. A little bit of a blunder there, as he does have 12 larvae just sitting around and almost 300 resources to spend. But one nice thing about Zerg is that even if you mess up the Overlord, you can still get re-maxed out almost immediately. I mean, you can see that happening right now, just making a wave of 9 drones. So it definitely makes up for lost time a lot more than, say, a Terran, because your army's just sitting there not being built at all, whereas Zerg, you're building up the larva to make all that army at the same time. I think that makes sense, where basically a Zerg missing Overlords is of course important, but at the same time, you can replenish that army and kind of make up for it much easier than Terran. That's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it. And Tasia also sticking to the SCV production. 4 orbitals going to be done soon. 3 SCVs in production at a time. Very close to the worker production that we're seeing out of Losira here, and might even be, no, the 2 Hellions going to be moving out, and he still has them all rallied down here, but could easily take that third base here soon, especially with the Hellion and Marine push out right now. He's going to see exactly what that unit composition is. 3 Queens and a Spine Crawler are going to be more than fine. I love the positioning of the Spine Crawler here by Losira. That's going to prevent any Hellions from running up there, and then the army can prevent anything from getting into the natural. It would be silly at this point if anything got down there. We do have some delayed Banshees here, and this is something that I really like to see Terran players do. I honestly think Banshee is one of the most underutilized units versus Zerg, because really, what anti-air does Zerg have? All you're really going to have is Infestors, Queens kind of, but usually you don't see this many Queens out of a player. And right now we have 6 Queens, 63 drones. Both these players, I can't emphasize enough how macro heavy they're going right now. Still making drones from Losira. We had the 1-1 on the way. Zergling Speed finally going to be on the way. The +3 Barracks right now going to be on the way. We have the 1-1 attack as well as Stim Pack for Tasia starting. And as I was predicting before, this is going to be a big macro slugfest. It's also going to be a big macro creep fest here, as the creep spread from Losira is pretty good. Needs to make sure to stay on top of that creep spread, as that is easily one of the most important things in any matchup for Zerg. A little bit less important in ZBZ, just because your build has to revolve around having creep for you need to even do creep spread. But regardless, the Queen's going to be pooping out a lot of creep tumors here. And that does mean the creep spread is actually going to be out of control here in just a moment. And that's going to be so many creep tumors. Look how quickly it spreads, having that many. Even a scan here, I don't think he can kill these creep tumors quickly enough. And it feels like the Lings are going to be doing a run by here, trying to make it to the main base. This Zergling's going to sprint up here, see not a whole lot, but he also sees that the defenses are mighty slim, which means that the Hellions, though, are forced to fall back here. These Lings are not going to be doing a whole lot. Not quite sure the point of this, other than just throw away a couple units, try and scout what's going on. We do have 2,000 resources, though, in the bank for Tasia. You do see 3 reactors on the way. That's going to help him spend that excess money here, but very uncommon for Tasia to have this much floating money. His production is not that capable right now. I mean, he's only got 4 barracks. Yes, he has the reactors, but even then, he's going to have to make a lot of medevacs to start spending this money. Some Lings actually make it in the side of the main base, and Tasia kind of getting lucky here, I almost want to say, in that Losira not making a lot of units right now. He's only sticking to Lings right now, as he is working on the Infestation Pit. He's going to have some early 1-1. 2-2 should be following this up here soon, as there's a lot of money saved up. But Tasia, I mean, if he would have got punished in the last 1 to 2 minutes, I mean, it would have been just that. It would have been a big punishing, because right now he's supply blocked. You can see right here that the supply depots are going to be finishing up super late, as he is now, well, supply blocked, and he's not able to make as many Marines as he wants, only 4 at a time right now. He does have siege mode on the way, as well as +1 attack for his meching units. The Zerglings once again going to be running up here. I think he just needs to harass the expansion, though. The Hellions once again going to be backing up, but will be able to snipe some of these SCVs, a lot more than I would have initially thought. But nice control here by Tasia, gets them away from the hold position, basically, which is just going to kill off a lot of your mining SCVs. So he gets away from that, brings in the Hellions to finish it off. And still 2 Lings right here going to be attacking this command center as soon as it starts. But that's just going to be a minor nuisance, as Tasia will be able to clean that up. A little bit of an overreaction. I feel like these guys can definitely handle 2 Zerglings right now. But honestly, Losira is going to have to start doing some multitasking, because he's not harassing the main base. It looks like he's just going to be going for a 13-minute hive here. Going to be hitting this hive tech right at around that 13-minute mark. And he does have the Spire on the way. That Spire is definitely a little bit late, though, because he looks like he wants to get that up into Hive Tech and go straight for those Broodlords here. But the creep spread's looking mighty fine, reaching the center of the map at the 13-minute mark. Definitely no small feat. Those look at these 4 Queens, though, finally going to get taken out here, as some Marines do come down and join the fight. Where are the units, though, for Losira? Looks like he's trying to rely on the counterattack technique, which all good Terran players just rally your last few reinforcements here to the natural, so you can defend on this map easily. The SCVs down here, though, looking like they're going to be vulnerable. The expansion down here will be taken out. throws a scan. Don't know what that was all about. Oh, I think the Queens were actually burrowed there. A couple Marines got to be cleaning that up. The Zerglings are going to be running by into the main base. Can they do enough damage? I mean, with versus Terran, you just spread out the Marines a lot, and the SCVs just do not die. But it does look like a couple of them will get taken out here, forcing the army back just a little bit. Could throw down a scan, though, pushing this creep spread all the way back. Doesn't matter how many creep tubers you have if they're getting cleaned up this quickly. And Losira, he's just got to make units. There's one fungal. Can he keep the infestors alive? Does end up losing one infestor, two infestors. I don't know what he's doing here. Huge miscontrol on these infestors, losing a lot of them. The Zerglings got to swing down to clean this up. The couple of burrowed Zerglings in the main at the natural as well. Got to be hurting the economy here, but I feel like both these players right now are just not macroing well. They're both hovering a lot of money. Their supplies are relatively low. Not going to be able to secure a fourth base safely anytime soon. You can see Losira trying to hide a fourth base up in the top right side, as there is a Banshee up here already able to defend where the fourth base could potentially go down right now. So the creep spread, is it going to continue? Yes, it is. Losira pushing back towards the center of the map. We'll need to continue building queens, I feel like. Take a look at the queen count, though. It's only got 3 queens. He has been missing quite a few inject larvas. You can see that queen has enough energy for a couple of creep tumors there, saving the rest of the energy to do those inject larvas. But continuing to throw Zerglings away at Teja's base here, which, you know, if he is killing workers, that's going to be working out well for him. But at this point, he needs an army to deal with the army that's in the center. And unless he can get out those Broodlords anytime soon, he's going to have to rely on the Fungals right now. Here's his opportunity, but the army was split, and Teja shouldn't be falling victim to major Fungals, although he is now regrouping these units, and a Fungal from the high ground could be devastating. Lings, though, trying to run by. We still see minor harassment here. That's getting cleaned up. But, I mean, Losira, he's gotta get out the Broodlords. He's trying to rush for them super early, although it has been delayed because with that fourth base going down, he doesn't have as much economy as he would like. He's now attempting to reestablish that fourth base, finally getting a couple drones going at the expansions over here, but already building 2 extractors. You can see he is very low on gas right now and trying to rely on Fungals. Both players finally tapping into their Swiss bank accounts and able to spend that money. A lot of burrowed Zerglings here, can see everything that's going on during an epic battle. He could unburrow these Lings here, kill off a lot of SCVs, and potentially get the opponent's economy thrown off a little bit. But there's a fourth base down the bottom of the left side already established. The center command center actually finishing up right now, so he could drop mules there, although he decided big old mule dump on the left side. But this is where it's going to start getting really bad for Losira, because he's contained here, and the supplies are starting to favor our Terran player. He's also got a lot of money once again to spend here. The Corruptors are on the way, though, which means Broodlords in large numbers are just around the corners. Right now we do see about 5, which is huge. But guess what? Teja knows about this. Those units could get intercepted once again, just running Lings up here over and over again. I feel like at this point he's just throwing units away. Definitely not playing it to the best visibility. Yep, forces the scan right there, cleaning those out, no problem. And the Lings over here did get cleaned up. Not too many SCV casualties, I believe. Let's take a quick look, though, and, oh, I'm hitting the wrong key. There we go. Workers killed. He has killed 28, which is substantial, but you gotta remember, though, that Teja has had more workers than you would expect from a Terran player throughout this entire game. Just able to get a lot of SCVs, a lot of command centers going. So he's in pretty good shape there. Throwing away even more Zerglings. I mean, at this point, Zerglings don't matter that much, but I guess they still do, because he's making 50 of them. And you have to remember that the Evo Chamber is going to be getting a lot of upgrades for the Zerglings, which also are going to be benefiting the Broodlings as well. Surprised to see those drones not transfer over quite yet. What is the drone count actually at? It is at 97, so he needs to engage here pretty soon because he's maxed out, but unfortunately his army size is going to be much smaller. You can see 101 to 135, so he has to engage at favorable locations. The Broodlords need to throw out the Broodlings. Here comes the Zerglings. Nice split, ridiculous split from Teja, preventing those Fungals from doing anything. All of a sudden, the Overlords are like, ruh-roh. That did not go as expected. One big Fungal there will be able to take out this first clump of Marines. But can they actually clean up the rest of the army? Teja says yes, so he's going to go ahead and back out, getting the siege tanks here to reinforce. Does he decide to use siege mode? Not quite yet. We'll be able to clean up a lot of these Lings here. Once again, I don't know what the Ling count death counting station would be, but it's not looking good. Although, Losira's pushing out to the center of the map. He's going to be able to lock down this expansion, kill off 2 mules, but more importantly, prevent any sort of mining here. But the counterattack of the Zerglings needs to be on this left side. With the planetary there, he may have missed his opportunity to attack. 3 armor for these Broodlings. But in true Teja fashion, already at the +3 attack, he just relies on pure bio in the later stages. Will be forced to mix in, though. It looks like Thor, surprisingly, and Vikings as well. What's his Viking count sitting at? It's currently at a lot. 12 Vikings now done. And you can see he's already mixing in Marauders. The reason he's doing this is they absorb a lot of damage from the few Banelings we see on the field. They absorb a lot of surface area for the Fungals, so that makes sense. So the Marauders kind of break up that clump, so not as many Marines get hit. And then also, if his opponent ever tech switches to Ultras, he's not stuck with just pure useless Vikings. Ouch! A lot of Marines over here cleaning up so many drones. Every single drone guy get taken out. Aside from the ones who had the foresight to burrow. Here comes the Banelings, though, followed up by the Broodlings. And can he get any big hits? Some decent hits, but the remainder of them hit that Thor, which does kill the Thor, which is very nice. But guess what? The Vikings are here to tango. And unfortunately, you do not want to dance with Tasia. He is not a good dance partner because he will kill all your units. Even Manor Mules right now, even though he's not that far ahead, although he could be using them to repair the Vikings. But that would be kind of peculiar, dropping that many mules. There you go. He is going to go ahead and put them on the mineral patches. Maybe that wasn't Manor Mule, but the location was a bit curious. But the siege tank on the high ground gonna force those drones away. The hatchery actually getting taken out, I think, by like the single Marine with 13 kills. What? This Marine is a hero. The medevac doesn't even have enough energy to heal how awesome he is. Very low on HP. He says that's not even enough kills. I'm gonna start killing off Larva Man. Does his violence know no bounds? Oh, he's gonna kill off these drones as well. 14 kills. Oh god, the Zorkings are gonna finally finish the job as the medevac said, I love you, baby, but I gotta go. Chill out over here. So I think it was, what, a total of 14, maybe 15 kills on that Marine before it goes down. Hero Marine indeed. And I almost want to start calling Tasia the Immortal Terran because his units just do not die. Or maybe I could call him like the 300 Terran because he can do so much with so few units. And guess what he can do with 182 supply? Make Losira look foolish. Although Lucira's definitely not out of this just yet. He's still stuck on the Broodlord tech. But right now, I think what he needs is Ultralisks. And that is just not going to work out. Especially with Thors out, man. They just do so much damage to one target that, like, Thors are the perfect unit to deal with those Ultras. These poor Zerglings, they're trying to basically go AWOL and just join Taja's army. Although these Broodlords caught completely in the center here. Need to be careful with those. As the Vikings say, well, we'll just kill one or two right now. And this could be the last battle. Big Fungals, but huge Concave coming at Taja. Ridiculous Concave. More Manor Mules being dropped out as Taja says, get out of the game. And is going to clean that army up with relative ease. And there's the GG, able to beat a former GSL Code A champion, GSL Code S runner-up. Round of 8 Code S as well. Tasia, you are just disgusting. Actually, I want to check something for Liquid Tasia here. I just want to see his results in GSL are not that crazy. I mean, August for 2011 is when he got his first major result. GSL Season 1, he did get to the round of 32, but only the round of 4 of Code A, round of 32 Code S, and yet he just crushes Code S players like it's nothing. In 2012, though, he did get round of 8 Code S, round of 8 Code S, and round of 32. As there was multiple tournaments. Of course, there's one almost every single month. And let's see here. It does look like, yeah, round of 4 GSL Code A. And first place at MLG Pro Circuit. That was the Summer Arena. That was pretty recent. First place at Assembly. So, I mean, he's starting to kind of make the money. If we go to SC2ranks.com, let's just see how much money he's made this year. Not ranks, whoops, SC2earnings.com, excuse me. And if we just type in Tasia, then we will be able to see exactly his income here. In real life, $13,000. And just able to do, let's see, 10,000. Lots of money coming in for 2012. It's been a good year for Tasia. Can he continue that trend in the next game? We're going to find out. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.